replay kind of fucks up here in the beginning because Gaijin hates replays. But I am flying the P63a5, which has a battle rating of 3.3 for some reason. Same as the other P39s. Just because it has the same cannon as they do, but more 50 cal ammo. But I also get up tiered a little bit. You can tell via the Thunderbolt and A10 variant of the P63. Here in a second. First we got a player-controlled, I guess, Wellington with 2 torpedoes. I don't know which variant of the Typhoon that is. We have the A10 variant of the P63. The US Navy variant of the F4, who is actually a pretty good player in this match. Gets 3 kills. I guess Colombian Jug? AI Wellington school bus thing? I don't know. I don't fly British bombers. And there we go. And a crabbing B-25, who's terrible. So instead of watching me climb up to 4K and not really do anything, I'm going to watch these other players at the first half of the match. It's because I'm just going to be climbing off to the side of the map. Yeah, we do also have a player P40 and that other Corsair. I think the only other person to get a kill is that P40, besides me and the Corsair. So I think this B-25 is trying to reenact the trench run from Star Wars, A New Hope, because he's just fallen the ground, or he's afraid of like SAM missiles. I'm not sure why he wants to hug the ground. He could just be super afraid of AA. He also tends to overshoot his targets, which leads me to believe he has vertical targeting on and has the range set to like 500. Because he seems to like accidentally kill boats and whatnot. It's not aiming at. Because its convergence is set too high. I also do try vertical targeting at some point in time. It's interesting what it does. It not only does it do convergence inwards, so it's set to 400, it does up and down also. So it actually goes to your crosshairs. Another thing about the Gaijin replay system is you can't tab over to enemy aircraft until they are spotted. So we get to watch some AI Bettys. And it seems as though when a plane is first spotted, it has its gears down. But it shouldn't have its gears down. It's just one of those bugs with Gaijin. So we have here a Kai 102 going after our AI Blenheims and whatnot. Wellingtons. He of course has that big old 57mm cannon. And he does something incorrect. He's going for these long, slow turns. Horizontal turns. That's not how you really should go after enemy planes. Because it just bleeds off speed and it takes a while just to line back up. A couple of AI betas over there. Those come and play later on in the game. As you tell with these long horizontal turns, it just takes forever to get back to the target. And you don't really get a good angle on them. Unless they do something stupid like this. But AI, what do you expect? And there's our friendly Corsair, who I said would get a few kills. We'll see that here in a second. There's one kill. Likely for this Corsair, he is just a terrible shot. This Zero, anyway, that's following him. I don't know what's up with Zero either, with the colored wings and tail of it being such a different color. The Corsair's just gonna fuck off to the side of the map and try to outrun something. But it'll get one more kill before the end of the match. And here I am really just turning back in after reaching like 5k or so. On the kill other than the Corsair myself, I do believe. By our team. That's our Corsair friend just running away from that Zero. Because speed. Got some bad editing here on my part. Here we go. Yeah, so I'm coming in and I see 2 dots up high. And I'm not really clicking on them because I can see that they're the AI Betties. So instead of, dropping down trying to kill players, I got this big 37mm that I can't really use effectively against players. So might as well put it to use against these Betties. And get some basically free XP and money. Editing. Had to slice 2 different clips together because Gaijin's replay system is kind of terrible. To really conserve energy, I think the best thing is to climb like that, straight up. The gunners will have a somewhat difficult time hitting you, and you get nice oblique angles like this. You also retain a lot more energy this way. You can stay relatively close to your enemy. It's good against fighters, it seems to be okay against bombers, but these are AI bombers, so can't really give advice on that. And I think at this point I'm down to like 23 shells of the cannon. Not entirely sure. But I noticed that there's a KI-84 down here. And off to my right I see a dot. That dot is the KI-61. Much less of a threat than the KI-84, but if I dive on the 84, this guy will shoot me in the butt. So let's go ahead and take care of him first. .37 is really good against Japanese planes, it seems. No armor, made of rice paper, whatnot. So I noticed this KI-84 is kind of overtaking me in a straight dive, or straight out run. So I decided to gain some altitude on him. And for a second there, I thought he was going for the carriers, but he's an armory aircraft, so he's going for the landing strip. So I decided just to tail this guy over here. Just wait and watch till he tries to land and hopefully go in for my kill. Because I don't plan on, playing with him over his airfield but if I stay far enough back, hopefully object permanence happens and he forgets that I exist. I also noticed a second dot over here. That is another 0 M2 variant going to land. So I wait and watch and not just dive straight on in. I kind of figured he was going in for the landing at that point in time before he shot, but him shooting really gave it away. Kind of go off his side a little bit so AI doesn't annihilate me. Do the same thing again, take out the guy at the rear so the guy up front doesn't notice me, and take out this guy. What I don't notice there on my first pass is it's not elevator damage, it's just the back half of his plane is gone. You can really see it on the runway right there. His tail is missing. And that was my last cannon shot this match. All I have right now is about 800, 900 rounds of 50 cals. That 0 that I shot at the front of this airstrip doesn't have a wing, so I'm not really worried about him ever coming back into the game. He might in like 2 minutes or so, but I'm not that worried about it. I'm definitely worried about the KI-84 though. Because right now that guy's name isn't red, it's that kind of off red that shows that he's out of the game. But he's just staying in his plane because he's an asshole. He also decided to tell me how big of a bitch I am for killing players on the runway instead of trying to 1v1 him with his E-honor. So, you know, the correct thing is to point out that P-51s often shot down 262s when they're trying to land, same with Comets. And that's where my E-honor comes from. This, of course, made him more angry because puppy E-honor. Also, I do not notice a 0 at all. But luckily, I'm so far ahead of him and so quick that he can't really catch me. I think he's leaking oil or fuel or something. Only right about now do I notice him on the radar. That's the only place I notice him. And I see my buddy in the F4U, the Corsair, who's gotten 3 kills this match, land. So I decided to say, screw it. I'm not allowing this guy to land while my buddy over there is taking a piss break. So I decided to keep this guy up in the air so he can't repair, refuel, rearm. So I'm really just going back to taunt him, not try to get the kill. But I'm trying to figure out where this guy is in game, because I don't notice him off to the right. So I'm looking over here next to the carriers. Maybe he's going over there to carriers. I still really don't notice him, because I don't look this far over to the right. But I know he went this way because of the radar. And I'm still looking for him over here, but with the replay system you can kind of unbound where you look. And massive FPS drop as the game actually decides to load the model. The FPS. Yeah, so I finally noticed a guy, and he's not going in to land. Instead, he does this prop hang maneuver almost. Really steep climb. And I don't know why. Then he wants to try to get in a horizontal turning battle with me, which I figured out very quickly that I could not win. But I did have more energy coming in, so run away. Because I'm a giant bitch like that and decide to fight on my terms, not his. It may not be clear in the replay, but this guy every so often is lobbing 7.62 at me, 7.7s or 7.7s, and did not land a single one. Over a kilometer out and just can't nose up enough to hit me. But a Radiator 1200 horsepower, actually M2 had 900 horsepower engine versus a 1800 horsepower fairly aerodynamic plane. I was going to win that. So really I'm just trying to taunt the guy and bait him till the F4 gets back. Try to keep him off the runway if I can. Or if he does, shoot him down. At this point I have 500 rounds of 50 cals left. Spread over 4 guns with ground belts, I think. So I'm thinking he's maybe going to his carriers to try to get the carriers to shoot me down with the AA. So I really decide to say screw that and wait for the F4U. F4U at this point is maybe 11k out, 10k out. But then I notice he's not really trying to pull me over to the carriers. And he might be trying to land back on the airfield. So I have to keep him from doing that. I think you see me for there for a second. And I was also telling the Corsair at this point, hey, look out, this guy may try to dogfight us over the AAA. So be careful. But instead, this guy tries to not even head on me. He does the exact same thing, which is this slow climb up, which just allows me to pilot snipe him with ground belts. And of course, Plat Sniper over here just decides to continue to taunt me. He also sees that I'm coming to get him, so he tries to hide behind this berm. Which, fuck him. Pilot snipe. And that's a 6-kill game, 100k Lion, with I don't even know how much XP at this point.